It's finally here. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's time for CCUK Resin Q&A Live, sponsored by apexresin.co.uk. Don't forget, use my discount code CCUK, save some money. That's right. Tonight and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. we're going live on the only resin talk show where you meet your favorite artists and creators behind the gloves. CCUK Resin Q&A Live. We'll be talking with fellow resin artists and creators and answering all of your questions live. Make sure you stick around. Ask all your questions in caps lock. Get involved, share this video with your friends and family, and enjoy the show. And with that, I'd also like to take a moment to say a massive thank you to everyone that supported this channel, guests, sponsors, members, and subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. We all grow together. The more questions you ask, the better the live will be. To be creative and ask away. Make sure at the end of the video you give it a thumbs up and comment. That's how we all keep growing. But for now, sit back, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy the show. Hi everyone, and it is Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. You know what that means. It's time for another CCUK Resin Q&A Live. And I'm really excited tonight because we've got our first ever guest officially based in Germany. I know we've had Patty on in the past, who I think was from Germany but lives in Belgium. But we've got Rebecca on from Art of Cheshire Cat Resin. And if you haven't seen her videos, you need to see them. They're amazing, well edited and beautiful pieces of art. So without further ado, just a quick reminder, any questions, please put them in caps lock. That way Lisa can send them to me on Discord. That way I don't miss any questions. But I'm looking forward to this one. So without further ado, hi, Rebecca.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Andy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm better now I'm on a live. These are the highlight of my week. This is what I look forward to all week.
I'm really happy to be here. It's super cool. Thank you.
It's great to have you on, actually, because you've had your channel for quite a while. I've been doing some research today, as I always do. And I think you've been technically posting since 2001.
I think 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sorry,
it's 2021,
not 2001.
Yeah, about 4 to 5 years. But it's still a small channel. It's just for fun and to help others. So, yeah.
So what I suppose these lives, they're all about getting to know, I suppose, you as an artist. What got you into resin and what then made you then go from resin to putting it on YouTube?
I think it's very similar to other stories. It was COVID. Yeah. And I've always been a very creative person. And so I thought...
Betty's saying hi as well. I can just see that in chat. So
hi, Petra. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I've always been a very creative person. And I thought, okay, I want to do anything else, something new, because I was drawing and painting a bit. I'm not good in drawing and painting, but anyways, just for me. And then I went on the internet and just checked, what's going on there? What can I do? And then I stumbled across, I think it was Julie's channel, Pouring Your Heart Out.
Yeah.
I saw first the videos of the acrylic pouring and thought, okay, that's super cool. I want to do this. And then I saw the videos about resin. And I thought, wow, that's much better. That's so cool. I can create coasters, bowls, everything with different techniques and so on. I want to do this. And I was directly hooked up, especially after I saw her videos on dragon scale. That was amazing. And I wanted to do dragon scale as well. And yeah, so I thought, okay, I need a starter pack. And then I went to Amazon and bought everything, which wasn't the best idea, to be honest, because on Amazon there's some shitty stuff. But anyway, for the first steps, it was okay. And yeah, so then I tried and tested a bit, and I saw, okay, it's not that easy. And I tried to understand resin and how it reacts with different kinds of colors like paste and mica powders and so on. And as we all know, it's pretty complicated. Yeah, and then I thought I struggled with the dragon scale for 3 months.
Really?
I was so frustrated because I bought the wrong pigments. I didn't really listen to what Julie said, and I bought so many crappy stuff and tried and tested and didn't work. And I bought mica powders with very large particles, which sank to the ground and covered the whole dragon scale. And I got very frustrated and thought, okay, so how to do it, and checked again everything. And then finally I achieved the dragon scale and thought, okay, I needed 3 months to get this result. I want to help others. So I created this YouTube channel to just help others. Because there are no secrets on my channel. I show everything and everybody can ask anything, so no secrets. And yeah, so that's the purpose of my channel, just helping others and showing my art.
And your dragon scale as well. I watched a few of those last night and I loved them. There was that one that you did with the burnt orange and the metallic blue. That is stunning. I need to find a way to get those particular colors in my collection, because I saw it on the screen. I was just like, wow, I need to get that in my life, that orange. But yeah.
That orange is from Depon, so you can buy it. It's a burnt orange and it's amazing color. It's one of my favorites. So cool.
It was stunning. I've made my own oranges before by mixing papaya and gold together, which comes similar, but not quite as nice. So, and you'll have to excuse my voice today. I'm still getting over a cold. So apologies for that. So, but interesting. It took you 3 months to get dragon scale effect. What technique was that? The first technique that you tried? Was that the first ever pour? Okay.
Yeah, it was the first technique. It was totally stupid because it's not that easy. Or let's say usually it's easy because you just do this dirty pour, but if you don't do it in the right way or right order, then you won't achieve this dragon scale. And if you don't have the right mica powders and so on. And yeah, so if you don't understand how your resin works and reacts, then you won't achieve this effect. So it's not so beginner friendly, I would say.
I think once you know what you're doing, it gets easier. Once you do it a few times, then you tend to not get a failure. It's like my technique that I really struggle with all the time is Larimer. I've got 2 or 3 really nice Larimers, but the rest of the times it just never works.
That's for me the 3D flowers. Sometimes they work and very often they don't work. And they look so amazing, so great. And I would love to create more 3D flowers, but I'm too stupid. I don't know why.
I loved your 3D flower tray that you did. I think it was with the embossed leather on the back.
Yes, but that was one of, I don't know how many 3D flowers I poured, and this one worked. I don't know why. And then I did another one, and it was a mess. I
think it's all about temperature and I think if you're 1 degree the wrong way, it will massively impact your bloom. And I think it's just knowing the right temperature for that resin, because every resin I found, because I think you did yours at 35 degrees when it worked on that video, and I normally do mine at 36, and I don't tend to get any problems at that. But it depends on the resin, because if I use a thicker resin, I need to start at like 33 degrees or something like that. So it's just playing with it, really.
Yeah, but the 3D flowers, I don't know. They're not my friends, so I do other stuff than 3D flowers.
But no, it's amazing. And I'll tell you what, I saw another technique of yours that I haven't seen done before, and it probably has been, but I just haven't seen it, which was where you put the UV resin in the stencil before actually pouring. And I thought that was a really cool effect, which I've not done before. I've done a lot of freehand UV resin and then poured resin, but not actually in a stencil. And I think that turned out really cool, the dragon.
Yes, the dragon. At first the small butterfly, and then I did the dragon, and I have some more which are coming soon. But that's one of my newest techniques, I would say. because first I tried to use the stencil on my mold and then I use the UV resin with the stencil. But if you then cure the UV resin, it will stay inside of the stencil and not on the surface. So I just have to draw everything on the surface and then have to use the UV resin.
Yeah, no, but it looks really cool. And I say I've done a lot of freehand where I'm literally drawing with the UV resin without a stencil. And sometimes they work really well and other times not so well. So, but it's part of resin. Not every piece turns out.
Yeah. It's like Christmas. You don't know what's coming. It's always...
Every morning I get excited by demolding.
Yes.
And at the minute, because Christmas isn't far away, I've literally got Christmas decorations absolutely everywhere in my house because I want to get a good stock of them ready for Christmas. And
molds and shapes, right?
These were molds and shapes molds. These two, the angel with the druzy wings, which are really cool, and then the gonks, which are again very cool. But you don't realize with those as well, to get the resin just to stay in those areas, it took probably 2 hours to do these for 6 ornaments. It's crazy.
I got the same mold from Molds and Shapes and I wanted to do something similar, so with pink and whatever, and it took forever to to fill all the compartments. And it takes hours.
It does, but do you know what? If you get a good result at the end, and I think that turned out pretty cool, they look good, you know, and it's just the more time you take with your resin, the better the piece. And don't get me wrong, these were just mica. So these were just plain mica, but because the molds are really nice, I still think they turned out good. So, and then this one was 5 different glitters mixed in.
Oh, very nice.
But so it's just how many different ways I can do the same mold as well. And that's part of the fun for me is you can have one mold, but with resin, you can do 20, 30 different techniques in one mold.
Yes, absolutely.
So do you want to, before we go any further, we've got 25 in chat at the minute, which is great. Do you want to just give your channel a shout out so that people know where to find you?
So you will find me if you type Art of Cheshire Cat. I know it's a pretty complicated name. Cheshire Cat is from Alice in Wonderland. So this smiling cat, this crazy cat. So my art is also colorful like Alice in Wonderland, colorful, crazy, a bit different. And so just check it out. And I'm happy if you visit me. And we, as I said, no secrets. You can ask anything. If you need any help, please reach out via Instagram, for example, and I will help you with your projects.
Yeah, and Lula's just linked it on the screen for anybody as well. And don't do what I did the first time. The first time I put so Art of the Cheshire Cat, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, I've watched your videos. Where are you? And then obviously I changed it and I could find it. So talk to me about, obviously you've done these resin pours. What made you, did you put those first pours on YouTube or did you wait a little while until you got the technique right?
I waited a little bit to get the dragon scale up and running, and then I did my first videos. But I think I improved them a bit because at the beginning I had no idea how to create YouTube videos and how to do voiceovers and so on. So we all know it's a lot of work. And I first did some of my projects and then I uploaded videos.
Yeah. Petty's saying that you do awesome and unique art. I'd agree, looking at the videos I've seen. And actually, that's one thing I was going to ask you about is how your editing changed over that period of time. Because you're right. I think if you look at some of your first videos and you look at the ones now, they're so polished. They're really well edited.
Yeah, so playing around with all the different techniques for making videos and so on. And it was totally new for me to create videos. And then I tried to test it a bit. And I think there's a lot I can do better. But at the moment, I think it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Do you know what? We all try and improve the videos over time. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And sometimes I like to just put an unedited video out and just say, look, I've not edited this one and see if you like that. And actually, views-wise, it works out about the same. And I'm like, okay, why am I wasting 3 hours editing a 30-minute video? But I think that's the great thing about, we've got Petra in as well, Petra Jonglug. How are you, Petra? I stole your technique this week and tried my own supernova.
You did very well.
It was beautiful. But this one actually glows in the dark on the back as well, just to be different. So yeah, it was, I saw that technique. And do you know what? I love being inspired by other artists. And it's like today, I went to a fabric shop in Nottingham to try and find some embossed leather because of your tray. I thought that looked amazing. And they had really plain, boring embossed leather. And I thought, no, yours was amazing. So I've been looking it up on the internet to get some nice patterns and to try that technique.
Temu is your friend. So I bought all the faux leather at Temu. So there you will get hundreds of different.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
You just have to wait a little bit longer sometimes.
Yes, 2 weeks usually.
Yeah. But no, again, that's the first time I've seen embossed leather put in. And I thought, you know what, that makes sense because compared to fabric, it's shinier so that you're less chance of getting those air bubbles. And I thought, do you know what, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's shiny and very thick, but at the edges, it goes up a bit. So in the future, I think I will put it on don't know, maybe a foil or whatever, or do a little bit of UV resin in the back to get a flat leather plate, let's say it like this.
Or just put some gravel on the back and then put the resin over the gravel or something to weigh it down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could work. So what do you do with your, where do you get your inspiration from when you think, what video am I going to do?
I think from different channels, of course. We have a German collaboration group, and of course, we're talking about different projects. I talk a lot with Petra from Petty's Home Art. In my job, I have to drive my car a lot. And so while driving the car, very often I get ideas out of nowhere or from nature or from different places. And I try to combine things. So combine different materials, different molds and so on, and just playing around and see what's working and what's not working. And
And that's one of the things I noticed actually is you try and combine like two different techniques in one, which I love, by the way, because I'm a bit the same. I like to experiment, and if I see something done one way, I want to see if I can do it another way. And one of them was like a Petri bloom, where I tried to get the Petri effect into a bloom and stuff like that, and these sorts of things. But it's something that's different. And then there was Ecopore and resin mixing together. And I think lots of people have these ideas, but they're too scared to do it in case it goes wrong. And I think
it can go wrong. Then it costs a bit of money, but anyway.
It's only resin.
It's only resin. It's not exploding. Also,
part of the fun though is unless people do that, we'll never get new techniques.
Yes, that's true. And for example, the lava crust effect I did with the orange and blue pigment, it was an accident because the resin got so hot and I poured it, and it was supposed to be a very nice dragon scale, but it got these large bubbles and it was different. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And I tried to do it again and again. It didn't work because I was too scared to let the resin get so hot again. But now I have another resin for this, and with this resin, it works.
And it almost looks like molten metal that's melted down to me.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Amy's saying that she could listen to your accent all day.
I have a very German accent. No one like a German accent.
Well, your English is very good. I'll tell you that. It's much better than my German. I can only remember little bits from school. But
German is very difficult. So
I do speak Hungarian, though, but not many people speak Hungarian. Yeah, I used to live there. So I grew up in Hungary, or Magyarország, as they call it. And I lived there for 10 years when I grew up.
That's cool.
Yeah, not many people in England speak Hungarian, though, so it's hard to practice. But yeah, I did, interestingly, at work, in what I do in the day job, I had somebody ring up about a job yesterday. and he was Hungarian. So I started speaking to him in Hungarian, and it just made his day. He's like, wow, an English person that speaks my language. But yeah, it was, it's always fun. But that's the great thing about resin as well. It is worldwide. And I think it's only getting more popular. So I think more people are learning about it because of YouTube and things like that, and wanting to start resin. And that's, for me, the exciting thing if you have a YouTube channel or anything like that, because more and more people will want to watch that content.
Yeah, so there are a lot of new channels. There are a lot of different channels, which is great. There are so many different tutorials, beginner tutorials, and let's say expert tutorials, and tutorials on each and every technique. So I think now it's pretty easy to do resin art or to step into resin art, because years ago there were only a few channels, I would say, and some channels are hiding or hid the different techniques, or didn't tell every secret. So I think today is a bit easier, and that's cool. So there's so many creative people out there, and I really love to watch all the videos. I could do it all the day long.
That's part of the problem, though, is there's so much to watch now. You don't have time in the day.
Yeah, so I have to work and I want to watch YouTube videos, so that's a problem.
And you want to create as well, so that takes time. So,
and then I see a new technique or whatever, and I think, okay, I want to do this, but I still have to work, or it's too late, because very often I do the resin late in the evening. Petra always says, Rebecca, so late, you're still doing resin art? Yeah, it's in the late evening, so yeah.
That's what my weekends are for normally. So Friday night, I'll be pouring till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll finally go to sleep, and then get up in the morning. I can demold, and it's like, yes.
Yes. Or, oh no.
So Amy in chat has just asked me, she didn't put it in caps lock, but I am going to let her this time. So she's asked me to speak some Hungarian just to prove it. So I'll just introduce myself in Hungarian. So az én nevem András, Magyarországban laktam 10 évig. There you go. And that's
nobody can prove that it was.
That's true. It could just be gibberish, but no, it's do you know what? I think resin's one of those art forms that there's always something new happening, and I think that's what keeps it exciting. Is there's always a new technique to try, always a new product, always a new mold, always a new mica powder, a new pigment, and that's what keeps it exciting for me. I don't think I'll ever get bored.
Yeah, so especially new molds and new pigments, that's killing me. So today I got another, the order arrived of a big box of new molds, and I'm very, very eager to use them. But my whole house is full of molds and pigments and resin pieces, and
it takes over. It takes over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's too much.
And again, I mean, I've only just, for the first time last week, got my first molds and shapes order. And
really?
Yeah, because again, they're not cheap, let's be honest. But they are great quality, and I've been so impressed. So, and that was largely because of watching other channels like Petty and Petra and people like that, and then seeing them on the screen. I was like, they look good quality. I need to get some. So I think I ordered 5, and I've already poured 4 of them. So I think it's one of those things. And then once I've poured them, I've already got 3 or 4 ideas what I want to do next with them. So it's it never stops.
Yeah.
So what about the YouTube channel then? Because I think you're at 140 videos in total. I don't know if that includes shorts. But you've got 2,620 subs, is it?
Yes.
Hopefully more after this, and that's the whole point, that we can all grow. And you've got about 95,000 views, I think. They're thereabouts.
No idea.
Almost 100,000, which is great as a milestone. So what is do you have a goal for the channel? Do you want it to get somewhere?
I don't really have a goal for this channel. Of course, growing, because I want to help other people. I want to inspire other people. And yeah, just showing my art, and that's it. So no big goal of going to 10,000 or 20,000 or 100,000 followers. It would be nice, but that's not my main goal. The main goal is just helping and inspiring others.
Yep, which is amazing. Lula is asking, what part of Germany are you from?
Western part, so near Düsseldorf. I was born in Düsseldorf, and now I live a little bit outside of Düsseldorf.
Okay. What experiments have you got planned that you haven't done yet?
I want to work, or would love to work or combine resin with wood, but I've never done this before, and I need to watch some videos to not make any major what's the word?
It's expensive though. That's the thing you need to.
Yeah. So if
these bills, what they have, all this fancy wood, it costs a fortune.
Yeah, so that's it. But I bought a very large round mold, 50 centimeters, and I want to create a large clock with it.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to do, and maybe creating some coffee tables with it, because it has very large edges, and then I can do small tables with this mold. Yeah. And Petra and I are planning another, let's say, experiment. We are talking about different techniques and what we can do else and so on. So we have some ideas, and I think in the next few weeks or month we can do this. So there will, yeah.
Have you seen my clock behind me? That was all resin and wood.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Very nice.
Yeah, and that was a drip mold. The square part was a drip mold, and then the rest was just a piece of wood that I'd covered the whole thing in resin.
Cool.
So that was a cool experiment. But yeah, I think, and I'm like you. One of my dreams is to have my own coffee table, but that I'd made from resin and wood. But I'm looking for the right piece of wood, because I'm going to have it forever, and it's going to take probably 12, 14 liters of resin, which is a lot of money.
Yeah,
and wood. So it's got to be the right piece. And I've been looking around, and it's so expensive. So I really want olive wood, because I think that will look amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And somebody, Paula, actually sent me a message on Facebook and said, look, I found this olive wood on Amazon. You need to buy it. And then I looked at it, and then I looked at the description, and it was only 40 centimeters long. I was like, it's not long enough. So again, it's just finding the right piece that's going to work. And I think that's the hard thing. But I think we've all got that dream. Weirdly, everybody, when they get into resin, they, after a period of time, they're like, I want to do a resin table.
Yeah, the river tables are amazing. I would love to have one or to create one, but I'm too afraid to do it. I think it's too much money.
Well, it is, but it should last forever, is the way I look at it. So let's say it costs, I don't know, probably with the wood, I'd say a coffee table will probably cost £300-400 easily. But if that lasts you forever, it's probably money well spent.
Yes, but then it has to work. It has to get perfect. So and that's the risk, is if something goes wrong. And that's where, when I do my bigger experiments, it's like I did a universe that was 4 liters of resin, and if one step in that went wrong, that resin would have been wasted or had to be reused, which is a bit of a worry when you're doing that. Yeah.
And again, resin always kind of does what it wants. You can try and control it, but you can never get it 100%.
That's true. That's the problem, or that's the fun part.
It is. So, do you have any sort of favorite pigments or any favorite micas, anything like that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, the burnt orange from Dupont is one of my all-time favorites. It's amazing. Then the Nebula Red from Dupont, which is not available at the moment, which is a big problem. And I really like color shift pigments. So hyper shift and super shift pigments, I usually buy them on Depon. So especially color shifts from blue to purple, because purple is my favorite color. I have so many different purple micro powders. But color shift pigments are my all-time favorite.
Do they ship to the UK, Depon?
I think so, yeah.
I might have to have a look, because I say some of those color shift ones that you used looked stunning, and I think I might have to try some.
Yeah, and they're so cool, and you only need 1 gram. That's more than enough. It's, I think, 10 euros, 1 gram, and then you can use, can do a lot of projects with this. Yeah.
Well, I'll have a look at that. So I suppose one of the questions that I've always got is we've talked about some of your makes that have gone really well and look lovely. What's been your worst project? What's gone wrong?
As I mentioned before, 3D flowers. There's so many crappy 3D flowers I did. And as mentioned before, as well, the dragon scale, the first 3 months, so many failed dragon scales.
What did you do with those pieces? Did you keep them or not?
Sometimes I keep them because I think, oh, I can paint something on the surface or pour resin over it or whatever, and then they're in a corner of my room and it gets larger and larger. I never do.
Have you seen my worst piece?
Okay.
That was an accident. What went wrong? So the eco pour sort of sank the first time I tried mixing it, and he didn't work out. But I still keep him. I think he's kind of getting cuter the longer I keep him.
Looks like a car accident.
Car accident, yeah, that roadkill bear and meth kit, whatever people want to call him. But he's growing on me now. But I think it's always good to keep your failures, because they remind you of how good, when something works, how great it is that something's worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
So techniques wise, then, we've talked about dragon scale, we've talked about blooms. What other techniques have you done?
Larima effect. I'm pretty new to Larima, but it worked very well, so I like that. And of course, web or lace effect. I like that too. Crackle effect in different ways. What have I? Petra, help me. What did I do? I always forget what I do.
Have you tried that new supernova effect yet?
No, not yet.
It's fun.
It's fun and it looks amazing, but I will give others the space to do it, because I'm not sure I can manage it. But it looks pretty cool, especially the colors. And I got inspired by this because I want to do a supernova dragon scale. So making the dragon scale very colorful. So this is one of my next projects.
It should work, to be fair.
So, yeah, I think so. I think
because looking at the edge, I've got the colors in there, so that should work.
Yeah, but I definitely will do the supernova effect. So there's so many different techniques, and Nicole from our German collab group is doing so many cool techniques. Larima blob, for example. So I tried it and it worked very nicely. I haven't uploaded this video, but it's a super cool technique. So yeah, sometimes I do other techniques and I don't upload the videos, just do it for myself.
Yeah, so Paula, I've just seen a question come up. It's not in caps lock, but I've seen it, so I'll read it anyway. So the supernova technique basically is mixing a load of alcoholics together, dirty pouring them, then putting another white and an iridescent on the top to create that kind of effect, I think, is what I did. And mine's not by any chance, mine's not great. So go to Petra's channel and see the first 3 or 4 videos that she did, but it is gorgeous, the technique. So, and I think the problem I have is sometimes when I watch those videos, I don't have the same products. and it never works exactly the same. And it was like the same with the was it the lacing technique that came out? I still haven't got the right white to get that right.
Really?
And I've tried it with 3 different whites now, and it hasn't worked. But I don't know if that is, again, it's a slightly different resin that people use as well. And I think all of those things together, you've got to keep experimenting until you get it right, like your first crackle.
Yes, yes.
But it's it can be frustrating if you've got 10 failures in a row.
Definitely, definitely.
So interestingly as well, because you do all of your videos, you do them in English as well as German, don't you, I think?
Yes, I do. I try to do it in German and in English. If we do a collaboration, usually I don't do German. I just only do English. Yeah, so, and ChatGPT is helping a lot with doing or translating it into English, because sometimes I worked a lot and I'm tired, and then I have to do the voiceover in English, and I'm sitting there and doing it over and over and over again because I can't remember the words. And sometimes I use ChatGPT and give ChatGPT the German version, and it translated into English, and then I have I have the words and I know what to say. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, do you do 2 separate voiceovers then and then put them out over the videos? Wow. Yes. So it takes you even longer to edit.
Yes, yes. First the German, then I save it, and then I delete the German voiceover and do the English one.
Wow. That's a lot of work. I hate voiceovers. I try and do mine live as I'm doing the project, so it saves me having to do a voiceover.
I can't do a live because I love to watch TV or series, Netflix, for example, while I'm pouring. So then you would listen to Star Trek as well. And I don't know if that would be nice.
Amy's asking to see this one again. So here we go. That was the one that I did. And actually, it shows up better with a white background. Let me show you. Hang on. But again, this isn't the greatest. So again, don't think that this is the technique. It's not. But this gives you an idea. There are some similar effects, but not quite. So there's that one. But there we go.
It looks like a space nebula. It's very nice.
Is what? Sorry?
It looks like a nebula in space. It's very nice.
Yeah. Well, the best bit is actually, if I switch the light off, hang on.
Oh, another Star Trek fan. Hello.
There you go. So the best bit is, if you can see.
Oh, it's glowing in the dark.
Is look at that.
Wow, that's cool.
Now that came out really cool. The back, I think I prefer the back to the front. That's the problem. But I suppose it's technically it's a different technique at day and a different technique if you shine a UV torch on it. So it was something different that was just fun. So there we go. So Christmas is on its way. What projects have you got planned for Christmas?
In the last few days, I poured a cake stand in red and gold with the graceful lines mold from Molten Shapes. They have this one in a large mold and a smaller one, and it's perfect for a nice cake stand. And I have several of the Molten Shapes Christmas molds, so I will use them. And I think I will do a lot of red and gold, but also black and gold, because usually for Christmas I have my decoration in black and gold, so I like that combination. Yeah, so I think there will be only a few projects, because I'm not a big fan of creating Christmas ornaments or something like this. So cake stands, I love to create cake stands, but not the little tiny things. I'm not good at
and you've done quite a few cake stands. I've seen that on your videos. What do you do with them? Do you sell them?
Yes, I designed a web page or a homepage, and I will reopen the website, I think, in a few days. So selling my pieces again, or it's a gift for friends and so on. And I have, of course, some in my house.
Yeah.
Just for decoration.
interesting question for you then with the selling, because everybody always asks is, how do you start selling your pieces? What's the best way to start selling?
It's not that easy. I tried Etsy, but for Etsy you need a lot of content, a lot of pieces to sell, because there's so much resin pieces on Etsy. I designed my own web shop and I promoted it on my YouTube channel, and then I sold a few pieces, and I promoted it on Instagram as well, and that worked. So it's not that I earn tons of money with that, but I'm very happy if I sell a few of my pieces.
Yeah, I've only just started selling mine. So, and the reason why is my house was full. I couldn't fit any more resin in my house. So I thought, I'm going to have to start selling it or doing something. And I tried online. I did a Shopify shop, didn't work. I then did eBay, didn't really sell. Or if I wanted to sell, I would lose money because people want to pay Temu prices for handmade things. And that's the hard part. It's finding somewhere where people actually will pay a little bit more because they appreciate you've done it by hand. And actually, about 6 weeks ago now, I found a little shop where I can hire half a table, and I put my pieces in there, and they've started to sell, which is great.
Cool. Yeah. But it's very difficult. So it's not easy. It's not just designing a web page and then I can sell everything. So it takes time. You have to promote it. And yeah, so I'm happy if I sell a few pieces. That's okay.
Yeah. And then you've got the stress of shipping.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is always stressful. Is it going to get there safe,
Yeah.
Which is always a worry. But I think that's the thing as well with all these new laws coming in with like America and things like that. It makes it so much more difficult now to be able to ship worldwide.
Yeah.
So what is, do you mind me asking what you do as your day job?
So I'm a biologist, but I work for a medtech company.
Okay.
So I work in the hypertension space. We have a minimal invasive treatment option for hypertension. So yeah, and I'm selling it and helping the hospital setting up everything and so on. So that's my job.
Amazing. Yes, but different. And then you get to unwind by doing resin.
Yeah, right.
So is there, again, technique-wise thinking, is there a technique that you think at the minute that you've seen that you, apart from blooms, that you haven't tried yet, that you think you might struggle to do?
Yeah, so the supernova technique, I think it's not that easy. Or what was it called, which Julie did? Petra, please help me. What's the name?
Was it the fireworks one she did? Or?
Yeah, the fireworks effect. I think Petra did it as well, and it worked very nicely. But I think I'm not good in pouring things together and then it turns out like it should. Usually I'm better in combining things and doing my own stuff. Yeah, so maybe
there we go. Patty's saying the starburst effect.
Starburst. Yeah, starburst effect. That's it. Starburst effect.
But I think that's the thing. And do you know what excites me? It's like that supernova technique. So I haven't got it perfect yet, but it means I can do more to get better until I do get it. But also, I thought, what about trying it in different molds and seeing if you get a different effect by doing it in different molds? Because you probably will. And again, that's where I think it's amazing that there's so many different artists now. I can watch 3 videos and be completely inspired to do something completely different to those videos. So I'm just going to give people a 15-minute warning as well. So any more questions that you want to send them through in caps lock so that Lisa can send them.
Any questions?
I know we've not had many tonight. Normally we get loads of questions. So I don't know what's going on. But no, so with regards to resin in general then, do you think, because obviously now compared to 2 years ago, there's so many different types and so many different types of resin. Do you think that's going to continue to develop?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you compare it to years ago, there's so much movement in the market. There's so many new resins, pigments, and so on. And I think the manufacturers try to develop new resins or resins with different I missed the word. Anyway, so I think there will be new stuff coming around, and there will be new techniques, and yeah, so I think we won't run out of any ideas or new things to do.
And it's like even things like EcoPore and Aquacast and things like that. You can now get a black version, which you couldn't get a few months ago, but now you can get like a black EcoPore, which again looks amazing. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm like, I need to get some of that for Christmas so that I can try that.
So years ago, the website from Depon was very small. It was for cars and so on, for painting cars and whatever. And now they have their own website just for resin. And so I think at the moment there's a very high focus on resin art, which is good. So we can buy it everywhere. We can get different kind of resins, low viscosity, high viscosity, and so on. UV resin, and yeah, so I think there will be a lot of
and you know, I think what's interesting is there's more smaller companies starting now as well. So it's not just the big giant companies that have always dominated the market. You now get smaller companies popping up as well that are focusing on different pigments or different things, and I think that's exciting as well, is looking at the smaller companies as well as the big ones. And I think what's happened there is a lot of resin artists have gone, do you know what, I want to do this as a business. And they've found ways to turn it into a business, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right. KD has asked, who is your favorite resin artist? You don't have to answer, but.
My favorite resin artist, not that easy because there's a connection, or is it yours? So I'm not sure if I have a good connection because there was it was loading.
Yeah.
Can you hear and see me?
I can hear you now. There was a bit of buffering there, but you're back now.
Okay. Yeah, right. I'm not sure if it's my connection here. Of course, Petra from Petit Somart, because she's doing amazing projects. I really like Julie's channel, Pouring Your Heart Out. I love all the channels of our German collaboration group. And Claire's Crafty Corner, of course. She's also doing amazing things. There's so many. There's so many super cool channels.
You see, I like different channels for different things. And it's very strange. It's like, I know that if I go, for example, on a Daniel Cooper video, I know it's probably going to be a slightly strange experiment with jewelry pieces, usually. Then if I want to learn a new bloom technique, I might look at Julie's channel, Pouring Your Heart Out, because she's always experimenting with different blooms. Then if I'm looking at trays or something like that, I might look at Petty's Home Art and things like that. She's got some amazing trays. And I think you just start to think of one artist and go, do you know what, this is amazing. And again, you start to watch one artist for one technique, another one for another technique. And you almost build a collection of artists that are your favorites in your head.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's the thing. It's getting, there's so many new channels popping up as well. It's amazing to see the new ones coming through as well and coming up with different ideas that we haven't tried yet.
Yeah, for example, like I mentioned before, Nicole's channel, she has a very small channel at the moment, but she's creating amazing pieces. So check out her channel. And I think it's Pure by Nicole. Oh God, Nicole, sorry. If she's here, write it in the chat. And she's very good in Larima Blob, and so on. All these super cool pours.
See, I've not seen the Larimer blob yet. I want to see that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, check out Nicole's channel. So, or Petra, if you're still here, please. So there's Pure Pour by Nicole. I'm so sorry.
There we go. Pure Pour by Nicole.
She's going to kill me.
But no, I'll check that out definitely after this and watch a few.
Cool.
Lisa's asking as well, what do you do if you run out of inspiration? So you don't know what you're going to make?
Then I go into my craft room, sitting on the floor, taking out different molds. Okay, it's still buffering. Hope you can hear me. Taking out my molds and some pigments and sitting there thinking. And if there's something popping up in my head, then I do it. And so, very often I also take out all my stencils because I have hundreds and think, okay, that's nice and that's nice as well. What can I do? Maybe this one. And then something pops up in my head and then I do it.
I've not used stencils yet either, but actually after seeing your dragon one, it makes me want to try stencils, so I might give that a go. But yeah, one of the things I do is I'll just close my eyes, and I've got all of my molds are in like separate boxes at the side of me there, and I'll just pick a box, close my eyes, put my hand in, and pick out a mold, and that's what I'll do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so, and the fun thing is, I don't even know what half of those molds are because I'm like everybody. So I've got some really good quality molds, which I've invested in, but I've also got like times where I've spent like £200 on Temu and don't know what the molds are until I pour them, which is part of the exciting thing.
I have so many Temu molds I've never used until now, and so there are boxes full of the cheap molds, and sometimes I think, okay, what the heck is this one here? I don't know. Maybe pouring if I have leftover resin. So then very often I take out a small Temu mold and just pour it and check out what it is.
Yeah, so I do a lot of those drip molds, I call them, where you're just putting your drips of resin in. And the skulls, let me show you one actually. Oh, so this was my latest drip mold, which was a skull, and it's just all of those different bits of resin that I've been using in different projects, and I think it came out really cool.
That's super cool.
And I even got the magnet line going down there with some magnetic ones with the spare. So that is literally my last 6 projects in one skull. But again, that's why I always say to people, don't waste your resin, because you can create something like that just from your spare.
Absolutely.
Petty is asking about Frankenstein. He's at the shop. I've taken him to the shop because I thought with it being Halloween, he'll be great on display there to show the rest of the pieces. But that was fun. That was just pouring lots of different resin over a plaster of Paris Frankenstein. I've got the remainder yet. So this was the leftover resin from Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I'm going to figure out a way to use that in a different piece. But again, always save your resin,
Yeah.
But no, Frankenstein is at the shop, so I can't show you. Sorry. Maybe after Halloween. But no, I think, unless I always ask people this as well, and I always say, have you got any questions that you want to ask me?
Yeah. So what's your favorite technique, and which technique you're not able to do because, like my 3D flowers, you're too stupid to do it. I don't know. Yeah.
I think Larimer is the hardest technique for me. I can do it, and I have done it, but not very often I get it right. And I think it's because I'm quite a messy artist. I don't like to weigh everything out specifically and use X amount of drops. I just like to mix it and be creative and throw it in. And I think that's why I probably struggle with the Larimer, if I'm being honest, because I think you do have to get that mix pretty precise for it to work. So that's probably my worst technique. My favorite has to be blooms. I love blooms.
Very cool.
I'm always doing blooms. People say that they're bored of my blooms because I do them that often, but I absolutely love them. And even recently, I've been doing Christmas tree decorations, but I had to do some mini blooms just for the Christmas tree. But I like them. I just think that it's such an amazing thing to watch that resin move and create that piece of art. But then I also love my big pieces. So where is it? I'll just grab one. So probably one of my favorite big pieces is my universe.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
That took about 7 or 8 days to do. But that is a huge, thick piece. And I think that's probably my favorite big piece. And then my most recent favorite piece is Pennywise.
Oh, hello.
I did for Halloween, and I think that came out really cool. So, but I like trying new things as well. So if I see a new technique, I have to try it just to see if I can do it. And some work, some don't.
Yeah.
I've also just started playing with flowers as well. So drying real flowers and putting those in. And I did a skull with a flower in the top. I took it to the shop and it sold within 1 day.
Really?
Straight away. So, and that was just getting a real dried flower, putting it in the top of the skull and then pouring the skull, which was really cool.
So do you dry the flowers by yourself or do you buy dried flowers? Okay.
No, dried it myself with silicone sand. So literally left the flowers in there for a week and then put them into the resin. But I've also had a big mistake with flowers, if you want to see that.
Yes, of course.
Everybody likes the mistakes. Let's grab that. Oh, whilst we've got you. So this was where I used deep pour, but I put it in my curing machine, and I think the problem is there was that much deep pour, so it's quite thick. It just kept on heating up, and I got these little bubbles everywhere.
Oh no!
So, but I've still kept it as a reminder of how not to do it. And look at that, the mold couldn't take the weight. So, but it's still an interesting piece. And then this was my big Petri attempt, which worked in certain areas, but not in others. But I just love the colors that came out.
It looks cool. It's very nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's probably some of my favorites.
So maybe I will create some Stargate and Star Trek pieces.
I have got a Star Wars piece that I did.
Also very cool.
Which, again, let me grab it. Which was just this Millennium Falcon.
Wow.
And then you can't see it very well on camera, but there's actually a piece of wood in there that I carved out to look like a mountain. And then we've got the Millennium Falcon and the writing there, feel the force. But even this, I made a big mistake. So I put the writing on the back thinking it would glow under the UV light. But the resin I used was very UV resistant. So it just doesn't work. So, but again, you learn from your mistakes. And that's one of the things I love about resin.
As always in life, make mistakes and you learn from them. So
indeed.
That's totally great. That's the fun part. Doing things fun and then finally achieve the result you want. So that's like Christmas.
And that's the thing. Once you do it right once, you tend to find you do it right again every time after that. And occasionally you'll get a mistake. And that's normally down to filming a video and mistiming things and things like that. But most of the time, once you've done it, you get it every time. But there we go. So we are pretty much at that hour mark. So from my point of view, it's been brilliant having you on and getting to meet you. And I'm looking forward to watching more of your videos. But do you want to just give your channel another shout out so anybody that watches this back can find you?
Yeah, so first, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to being here. And yeah, so visit me on Art of Cheshire Cat on Instagram and on YouTube. I create different things, combining different materials in my videos. No secrets in my videos, and you can ask anything. So if you struggle with the technique and you see I can manage it in my videos, just reach out to me via Instagram, for example, and ask, and I'll be there for you. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I hope I see you on my channel. Yeah, have a great evening.
Definitely, and thank you for coming on. We'll have to do a collaboration at some point. That'll be fun, where we set a challenge.
Yeah.
I think. And just so that people know, a couple of things I just need to mention as well. So there's going to be a big giveaway announcement on my channel this weekend because I finally hit that 10,000 subscribers. So I've got a few prizes, and they're big prizes, guys, that are going to be in that giveaway. So I'm going to release a video this weekend for you guys to be able to get entered in that. Anybody, as long as you're subscribed, can enter those. And then next week on the live, we've got Resin Bears by Abode, who's better known on Instagram and not YouTube. But I thought it'd be interesting to mix the communities. So they're going to be on as well. And apart from that, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, everybody in chat as well, for being here. And thank you to the channel sponsor as well, Apex Resin. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.